noon Eastern. You think about it, we rant about it. Listen to us live on Facebook.
You know, I missed you on
Missed
Wednesday.
you too, man. Like, what the heck? You abandoned me?
Yeah, I abandoned you. Fortunately, like many of us, we have things to do. Life
life,
happens,
life gets in the way. No worries. It's okay. It's all good.
but the rant goes on.
Rant goes.
And I got to tell you, Dave, that was a great rant. I'm sorry I couldn't join you, but we're here today, and a very interesting topic that you pulled out of the shelf, which is defining a woman. Something that we kind of touched on a number of previous rants, whether it was transgender in sports or whether it was the woke movement, but biologically, law, nature, the impact of this wokeness, right? I'm kind of taking your title and spinning it back. I got an opinion, and everyone would think the definition of a woman should be really simple. The definition of a man should be really, really simple, right? When the doctor takes you from your mother and slaps you in the rear end, it's very clear if you are a man or a woman if you want to be defined by what you
No.
really are. But
Right.
hey, David, you're nodding your head, so I'm going to let
No.
you take this a
So
little bit.
so hold on a second. So let's put this into context, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are not aware, God bless the United States of liberal America. The sad thing is that of course there's the U.S. Supreme Court nominee, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who's been under fire. And it's interesting how the Democrats have forgotten how they've treated different nominees that are conservative nominees. Please see Kavanaugh. But, it's a fascinating thing is that there is been a lot, questions have been thrown her way. And depending on where you're sitting on the political spectrum, it doesn't matter what she answers, you're either for her or against her. But Senator Marsha Blackburn, Republican from Tennessee, asked the question, can you provide a definition for the word woman? And I don't know if you saw the exchange, folks, but the exchange looked like, can you provide a definition? Can I provide a definition? No. Yeah, I can't. You can't. Not in this context. I'm not a biologist. Now, this is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. Where we're at is that the movements around us have suddenly created a legal precedent on definition of a woman. Now, I know, Stuart, you are a traditional kind of guy, conservative kind of guy, and you believe if the plumbing is there, then that's what they are. And I get that that's
Well, hang on, David. Let me explain. Listen, what is a man? What is a woman? And what constitutes a man or a woman, should be biological. Because if I say, then I am a chicken, then I should be taken and put in a coop. So David, hang on a second. We're not talking about gay, lesbian, or transgender rights.
No, we're not talking about that either.
About what the definition is of a woman.
But this is the problem. This is the problem that's occurred, is that her answer is, I'm not a biologist. To me, puts two things into perspective. Number one, that the woke movement has freaked people out to put out an answer. Okay, what she could have answered was that if we were looking from a legal context and emotional context, she refused to answer the question. I didn't realize that Judge Jackson is a politician, not a judge. Okay, number one. Number two, which irritates me, is that what we've created in North America today is that we are not allowed to express an opinion without some form of harassment, crucifixion, call it whatever you want. And if you read what how the media has painted it, aside from the fact that, of course, conservatives are only trying to discredit a black woman judge, because, God forbid she's a judge. She's a black female judge, and you shouldn't discredit her. It's not about discrediting. It's about understanding where her thought process is. She has been weak on child pornography. She's been weak in many of her answers. And here she was asked a poignant question just to understand what her thought process was. And what she is political. Mm-hmm. She is not legal. And frankly,
So
that's where I'm struggling with this.
I see your struggle. I feel your struggle. And instead of trying to, you know, answer a question, she's afraid to be torn apart for her opinion. Now, she's a woman. Again, I'm not a biologist either, but she's given birth to a few kids. So I'm going to assume that science hasn't gone that far where a man can give birth to a child. Again, so if she says she's not a biologist, that is not only a political response, but very disingenuous. And unfortunately, I wish the representative for Tennessee would have said, "You're a mother." Well, yes. Did you give birth to children?
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Can your husband give birth to children?
what's
The
what's
answer is no.
but Stuart, do you understand where this is coming from, right? The problem is today, and we saw, and when I ranted about, the other day, you got to thank people at Disney for this.
Oh boy.
You know why? Because if you see what the employees of Disney are doing, they're changing what everyday definitions are. They want to put forward their what that what and this. I'm not against the LGBTQ community. The opposite. I'm fine. I'm in favor of it. But at what point are you telling me that if I say I'm a man, I'm like, oh, you're a man. Oh, you can't talk about gender, or you can't this or that, or you should talk about gender.
So you can only talk about gender with someone that is woke and broke unless it's something to cause confusion. Now, listen, I think another reason why this is now a hot topic with the left is frankly because their government, right, that's in power, has nothing else to say about the economy, the State of the Union, any political trigger, including this war, not incursion, not small invasion. And so, if they can distract America to talk about women, they don't have to talk about their missteps in the Ukraine that has now got men, women, and children dead, buried in mass graves in a Western world in the modern era. So, I mean, you want to debate men or women. Ketanji Jackson, Brown, sorry, she's only taking away from their missteps that have caused carnage in the West.
See, my thing is this, is that once again, gender identity is confusing everybody. It's like, yes, I know that those who said that they have the physical of a woman, they feel like a man or vice versa. I understand that. I get it. I've met.
But where do we? But hold on. What do you get? Like, where are you
No,
drawing the line? I
Stuart,
feel like a
Stuart,
chicken,
no,
and therefore
Stuart,
I'm a
no,
chicken.
Stuart.
What?
There is a comedian who made a joke about that. Not a comedian, a person who made a joke about that he feels black. He's white. He says, I feel black. I relate with black. I don't feel white, and so on and so forth. And there's been. We're not mocking this, and frankly, Stuart, you have never, Stuart. No, but it is a bit of mocking because have you met anyone who has had a gender identity issue? I have.
Yeah,
I've spoken to them. Now, the thing is that if we're sitting here today and we are about to nominate someone to be sitting in the highest court of the land in the United States, and she needs what to define a woman? Because she did refer in an answer a woman's pregnancy. She did use that term in one of her answers. And now all of a sudden, when asked what is the definition of woman, she can't answer. This shows me state of mind. This shows me fear. This shows me that there is just that not the liberal, but the hard left has made everything so difficult. It's a definition. There is a definition. Now, can the definition be expanded? Yes. But to sit here and to say that, what do you need? 17 studies? Come on, what do you need?
David, hang on a sec, David. When a woman is giving birth to a child, the first question that a mother asks, because today only a mother can give birth to a child,
it's not the first question.
Is it a healthy baby? Is it a healthy baby? First question. Let's go through the process, David. You
no,
have a couple
Stuart,
of kids.
you're right, but
Hang on.
again,
What's the next question that a mother asks?
I don't.
It's a girl. It's a boy. The sex is defined biologically
but
what the sex is. And you know what, David? With all due respect to those people that feel feminine or feel masculine, it doesn't change, in my opinion, the biology in which they're born to.
Right, but
It
again,
it is a mental state of mind, not a physical state of mind. And even if you chop off limbs or add limbs, you were biologically plumbed and manufactured or developed as either one sex or another sex, irregardless on how you feel. And I think that the question being asked of this wanting to be, right, in the highest court of the land, Ketanji, right? The question is very simple, and it really is: remove the politics, remove.
No, they won't.
You have to. You have to.
Stuart. But that's impossible, because if you look at how the nominations are done, it's predicated on the political party. We know that the Democrats are going to put liberal-leaning judges, and the conservatives are going to put
liberal leaning. You got to follow the facts, and if you cannot follow the biological fact, then that's the fact.
The unfortunate thing is that the people who are looking at this, first of all, you have to take legal precedent. You have to take the law and apply it.
Correct.
Now there is an interpretation, but what's being asked here by Senator Blackburn, by Ted Cruz and the rest of the Republicans is, it's define a woman. Now, she said later on that she knows she's a woman. She knows Senator Blackburn's a woman, and the woman she admires the most in the room today was her mother. So she has it. She knows it. But it's the political fear. It's the idea that you are going to get ripped apart by people who have supported you. And that's where it doesn't make sense. There is a definition. Like you said, there is a definition, not the definition. There is a definition. It's expanded.
Well, you know what? I'm going to stop you. There is a definition. But let me tell you something. If you go and Google and look at all the dictionaries of the definition of a woman, I challenge you to do this. I'm not going to spend the time to bring up different dictionaries, but I'm going to tell you that a once very simple question, David, very simple. Are you a boy or a girl? Has now been twisted apart in the Webster, in the, what's the other dictionary? It's crazy.
But Stuart, I'm saying here in this case, we know, and it's really sad. We know right now that the entire, that we're seeing a complete shitstorm, because gender-based identity and whatever is at risk. Look what we saw. I said what happened in Florida. We do not want children under the age of 9 to be forced to be educated, quote unquote, about gender identity. And the Disney employees are losing their mind. Don't say gay. It's not about gay.
Listen, if Disney had it their way, there wouldn't be a living mother, right? There wouldn't be a living father, because every child is an orphan, right? Every child doesn't have a mother or father. The Disney way points 2 fingers, not 1 finger, because you don't want to insult. Frankly, I cannot believe that Disney is taking this line even further, because you know what? You know what? I would like everyone to go to Disney that is a man and go to the women's bathroom.
No, Stuart,
I want every man to, because this is what you're clamoring about.
But it's not about that. It's not about that. Stuart, here's the problem, and we're running out of time, is to show you the extent of what Judge Jackson is facing. There are employees at Disney who do not agree with this whole gender-based identity business, who do not agree on a lot of matters, who would and are being shunned by their colleagues and managers.
The same way, David, people don't want to like our podcast in fear of them being categorized as a liberal or conservative. It's the same thing.
This is the problem. You're either with me or against me. And this is what Judge Jackson is representing. Her brand of law is going to be predicated This is the sad part. Her brand of law is going to be predicated on the woke culture and their whims, not the law. That's what scares me.
And you know what, David? I am frightened by the concept that someone that's being recommended for the highest court of the land is afraid of the land itself.
Yeah. Wow.
Because to me, that shows her constitution, not the Constitution, her constitution on the ability to stand up and represent the laws as they've been written.
Wow. Stuart, we've reached our quarter hour, buddy.
We have.
Let's reconvene on Monday, shall we?
You know, I think we should get together again on Monday. You on a flight? You
No.
coming down?
I wish.
I
Have
got
a good
room in
weekend,
my office.
everybody.
I mean, which office you want to go to? This
It
one I
doesn't
got the
matter.
toys. It's more fun.
Absolutely. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, let's have yourself a wonderful weekend. We look forward to seeing you again on Monday. Stay well.